You're listening to episode 987 of the Father Bales Podcast. Welcome back. This week's episode is being offered by Father Dominic Sternhagen, and it's the homily entitled The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, given on the 18th Sunday in Ordinary Time, 2025.
So as you might know, this is our YouTube Mass. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. And for those of you who aren't watching on YouTube, well, you should follow our channel at Holy Trinity PDX, because there you'll find all sorts of videos, not just the weekend videos, but also other videos that we put out on Mondays and Fridays. And this last week on Friday, Father Bill put out a video talking about our staff retreat, and specifically about a presentation that we watched, and that also is linked on the channel, so you can go and you can find it there. And it was from a pastor, his name is John Mark Comer, and it was about a book that he wrote called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. Now, I read that book a while ago, and it really helped me. Actually, just the title helped me. I saw that title. I said, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. But oh my gosh, that title has already helped me. I haven't even read the book, and that title has helped me. For me, I thought that's so important. That speaks to what is going on in my life, because hurry was consuming my life. I was getting busier and busier and feeling overwhelmed and burnt out. And so I took that book and I started to use it, and it started to help me to change my life. But what does all this have to do with this gospel that we heard today? The gospel that we heard today is talking about stuff. It's talking about having too much stuff. It's not talking about hurry, right? Well, in some sense, I think it is. I think these things are related. There was another book that I read a while ago by an Australian hospice nurse. Her name is Bonnie Ware. And during her career as a hospice nurse, she was sitting with people as they were dying. She was talking to them during the last days, the last hours of their life. And the name of her book is The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And that's this gospel story that we have today. This gospel story that Christ presents to us today is the story of someone who is facing death even though he doesn't know it. And Bonnie Ware said among the top 5 regrets of the dying were things like, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends. I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself and not just what others expected of me. For some reason, when people were dying, they didn't say, I wish I'd made more money. I wish I'd accumulated more stuff. I wish I'd got that other boat. I wish that I'd really followed that one news story. I wish that I'd spent more time scrolling on my phone and less time with my family. For some reason, that wasn't on people's minds when they were dying. And maybe there's something in that for us. Maybe there's a lesson there. Because what do we spend our time on? It's not just that we accumulate stuff. Yeah, we accumulate stuff. But more than accumulate stuff, we fill our lives with meaningless things, meaningless activities. We're constantly on our phones. We're constantly distracted. We're constantly doing a bunch of things at the same time. We're constantly not present to ourselves. And I don't think that at the end of our lives we're going to regret being present. I think we're going to regret just the opposite. But what's the solution? What do we do? How do we deal with this problem? We live in this crazy, frenetic world in which everything is going a million miles an hour all the time, and many of you have got families, you've got work, you've got commitments. What are you going to do? How are you going to deal with this? What's the solution? Well, I'll tell you what the solution is not. The solution is not, I've got the 10 magical things that you can do to solve this problem. Here are the 5 tricks. No, we don't have any 5 tricks. We don't have 10 magical things. That's not the type of solution that Jesus gives us. Actually, the solution looks like this. It's a nice book that I have here. Now, the solution doesn't really look like this because this book, these Gospels, are telling us about a life that someone lived, a life that Jesus Christ lived. And that life is the solution. That is what we are called to follow. That's what we are called to pay attention to. We're not called to follow a bunch of rules. We're not called to do a bunch of things. We can't do more things. Our problem is we're doing too many things as it is. We're called to imitate a person. And I don't know about you, but I cannot imagine Jesus Christ half distracted on his phone, just saying, yeah, not really listening to those around him. I can't imagine Jesus Christ cutting people off in traffic, yelling at people inside of his car, what do you think you're doing? I can't imagine Jesus Christ accumulating things. He didn't even have a house to fill up with stuff. And those are the things that we're doing all the time. And so the solution isn't do less things. The solution isn't have less things. The solution is get to know a person, the person of Jesus Christ. Start to follow his way of life and start to experience life as he shows us it should be experienced. He gives us the key to living fully. He gives us the key to living the life that we're meant to live. He gives us the key to living a life that at the end we will not regret. But at the end we can say, I have lived my life to the full. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I've kept the faith, that St. Paul says. That's the sort of thing that someone can say who has followed Jesus Christ. So as we come here to this church, as we experience our community together, what are those things that we're supposed to do? This is Holy Trinity. We have that written up everywhere. We don't see it anymore. Know, grow, go. Those are what it means to follow Jesus Christ. We get to know Jesus Christ. Then we start to learn about Jesus Christ. He starts to transform our lives. And then we can go out and bring a life that's transformed. A life that moves more slowly. A life that's not worried and distracted about so many things like Martha, like we've been talking about. A life that's simplified. A life that's focused on the important things. A life that moves at the pace of love.
Thank you again for listening to this episode of the Father Bill's podcast. And a big thank you goes to Father Dominic Sternhagen. Again, he's our parochial vicar, our new parochial vicar we've had since July 1. Here we now are in August, so it's been about one month with him, and it's going really well. I think you'll find his homilies are very moving, and especially this one, while it was really tight, it really made a point, and I was very moved myself. It was like, yes, that kind of confirmed everything that we talked about in our retreat, our formation day, and I'm going to be building on that again on the next Friday video that I do. So I did this last week, and I'll come up this coming week with a continuing part 2 of the, what do you call it, in the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. But again, Father Dominic was able to put all that together in and around the theme of the actual scriptures. So that was excellent. If you have any comments or questions, I encourage you to go to my website at fatherbill.org, FRBILL.org. And there you can see what's going on in my social media, different podcasts that I have a blog, etc. So you can check it out, again, fatherbill.org. In the meantime, may God bless you and have a great week. Bye-bye.